Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Kittychu and in today's video I am doing another speed paint. Now there is no fun little intro that I normally do because, well, I have a new intro in the works, and yes, I know I do change my intro quite a lot, but you know, it's time for a change honestly. I've just been working on that behind the scenes, so hopefully I get that done later. Anyways, for this video today, I am doing a speed paint of my new Ponysona. And you heard that correctly, I do have a Ponysona now. I've had many OCs in the past, and there was this one pony one, but man, I can't even remember too much, but all I know is that it was a deer. It was like a white deer, and it had like some markings on it or something. But I used to use that one for a while. I forgot what her name was. She had some sort of name. I can't remember. But yeah, that was basically the first My Little Pony OC that I've ever created. Now, growing up, I've always loved My Little Pony and Littlest Pet Shop. I still have my Littlest Pet Shops, by the way. Who knows, I might make a video on that. Anyway, I remember I would always love drawing pony characters. It was so much fun. Of course, my art style was not very, let's just say, it was different back then. This was like around the time where I would still draw animal shaped figures. Like, they weren't stick figures, they were actually just shapes. The animal characters were in shapes, like circles and triangles and stuff like that. Whenever I had drawn the pony characters, I would actually draw them pretty nicely, and they were pretty decent for the age that I was. I think I was like about 7 or 8, and my favorite pony to draw was Luna, because man, did I love Nightmare Moon. I think that was the first time I ever had my LGBT awakening. Besides that though, I never really developed a Ponysona. Back then my OCs were mainly anthropomorphic animals, and I was trying to develop a Ponysona, but I could never make it quite right. I know I either wanted it to be like a deer or a Kirin, because I like Kirins, but I just kind of failed at making a Ponysona. That is, until now. So let me explain. My mom and I were just chilling one night, and we decided to watch My Little Pony. So we turned on my mom's favorite episode for some reason. It's the one where Starlight Glimmer is the leader of that little village, and then they go inside the village and it's all creepy. So we were just watching that, and then I was thinking to myself that I just wanted to create my own My Little Ponysona now with my new art style that I've developed. So after the 2-part episode was over, I quickly rushed over to my desk and I researched a bunch of stuff so that way I could make my My Little Pony OC. So while developing my Ponysona, I did know that I wanted to create it similar to me, basically like a heart OC, I guess, where some personality traits and physical traits are inputted into my character. The first trait I know I wanted them to have was to be an artist, like me. I wanted my Ponysona to love art as much as I do. So that was the first trait I added to the character. The next trait I wanted to add was to have a part of my physical appearance. So in real life, I have short hair. So I knew that I want my Ponysona to have some short hair too. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that I was creating my Ponysona first on this web browser game called Ponytown. If you haven't heard of it, I'll probably link it down in the description, but it's basically like this fun pony game that you can play on your web browser, or you can download it straight from the browser, and you can also customize your own pony. So I was doing that on there. So I was just looking for a bunch of short hairs that I could use, and I found a cute short mane and a cute short tail that I could use, perfect for my Ponysona. The next thing I debated debated was to see whether it should be a Pegasus, a unicorn, or an earth pony. So I decided it wouldn't be a Pegasus because, well, my Ponysona wouldn't be flying all the time. They would be standing a lot since, well, they're painting, so they like to paint on the ground and they like to paint the trees around them. So I decided, no, it can't be a Pegasus. Then it was a hard debation whether it should be a unicorn or an earth pony. Now, I thought heavily about unicorn. So I was like, you know, it could make sense that they would be a unicorn because, you know, if they had to carry a bunch of art supplies, they could use magic to carry it with them. Or if they needed to teleport a paintbrush that they hadn't brought with them, then maybe they could do that too. Although it would make for a silly little thing about the character, I decided not to make them a unicorn. Instead, I settled on Earth Pony, and I have a good reason for that. I knew that this pony character would love art so much that they would always remember to bring every sort of art supplies that they had because they know that themselves are going to be drawing or painting for a long time. So they would have to bring everything that they had. And what I love about that is I can always imagine my character wearing this, like these big ol' saddlebags on them where it could have all their art supplies and stuff, and it's got like little pockets and slots to carry like paints and paintbrushes and pencils and pens and anything. Now I would think that they would have to have help carrying like a canvas or something if they needed to. They are always able to ask a friend for help. Now this would leave me to thinking about their personality and how they can make friends. I absolutely knew that I wanted this character to be shy and kind of timid, kind of like me, but whenever they're around art or whenever they paint, they're all in their zone and they become their real happy self. Their love and passion for artwork really shows in them. But as for their friendships, they are quite shy when meeting new people, but whenever they do make friends, they certainly warm up to them and they love to share their artwork with them. So now that I got all their major details, now I was trying to develop the color scheme and how I wanted to design the character. Firstly, I knew I wanted to make a coat pattern similar to an Appaloosa horse. Now if you don't know what that is, it's basically a horse breed that has like a blanket looking coat pattern on their rear end and it's honestly a very cute looking pattern to me. I like it. If I find a picture, I may show it. Either an Appaloosa or an American paint horse. If you don't know, that's another breed where the horse has like white color splotches around their body and stuff, and it's a really nice looking horse. But in the end, I decided to incorporate both designs into the character. So it has an Appaloosa blanket and some American paint horse blotches on them. I honestly thought this was a clever idea because they both look like they have paint like splattered all over them, and I wanted to give this character that sort of design because I knew that it would be such a fun little idea. The last thing I had to think about was the hair color and like the main color itself. So I knew I kind of wanted pastel colors, like I wanted soft, cute, kind colors to make them show in their personality. So after finding a bunch of like pastel color palettes on Pinterest, I found a color palette that can fit them perfectly. So I chose this cream yellow, this bright lighter yellow for the white looking pattern, and then I chose pastel pastel purple and pastel blue for the hair and tail. So then after all the designing was done and the coloring, and after I figured out all the creation stuff of the character, it was time to finally name the character and develop their cutie mark. Also, I just decided that I would just make this character male, so he's a little stallion. He's not a big boy, he's just a little small boy. So after researching or coming up with creative names, I decided I wanted to name him something with like painting or paint splatter or brush and stuff. So I was thinking and thinking, and then I decided, you know what, I kind of want something similar to Rainbow Dash's name a little bit, except I wanted both names to have 2-syllable words in it. So I was like, well, let's see. There's a pony named Party Favor, so if I were to incorporate that in a paint art kind of name, it would have to be like something splatter because of paint splatter. Now, I didn't want to just name them paint splatter. I felt like that was too boring for me. So I decided something like, paintbrush, something with brush in it because of the paintbrush. I don't just want to name it paintbrush splatter. Even though that does sound good, I don't really like it. So let's see. What do you do with a paintbrush? Well, whenever you paint a line, you make what's called a brush stroke. So I decided, you know what? That's a good name for this pony, I think. I'll name him Brushstroke Splatter, because why not? I think that's a cute name for this character. So with that leads to the cutie mark design. Now, I obviously knew that it was going to have to be a paintbrush and a paint splatter in the background, but I didn't just want it to be a paintbrush by itself with paint. I wanted something unique a little bit. So I decided, you know what? Why don't the paintbrush just paint a little heart, and then in the background there would be a paint splatter. Like, it would look like the paintbrush is painting the little heart. So then I told myself that that was a brilliant idea, and I went over and I created it, and now it's the cutie mark. Now the cutie mark actually does represent something. Not only does it represent Brushstroke's art talent, but it represents his love for art and all things about it, which is why there's a paintbrush painting a little heart image. And then the splatter is basically just the splatter reference to his last name. And the name Brushstroke definitely comes from the cutie mark reference, how the little paintbrush is, well, painting the little heart in one stroke. Now, I was so happy when I developed this because it felt like I really accomplished something, and I've always wanted to make a Ponysona, and now I made one that honestly represents me and my love of artwork. So if you're wondering about this artwork, I'm drawing Brushstroke in the wilderness, sort of like in an area where there's a bunch of trees, because as I said before, he likes painting trees and he likes being out in nature whenever he paints. So being outside is perfect for him, and this was how I made the artwork. So I certainly hope you do like this artwork that I'm creating, and I hope you like my Ponysona. I'm so happy with him, I love him, and I'll be making my own reference sheet of him because that's always fun. So I will stop my talking now, and I'll just let you sit back and watch the rest of this speed paint video. So with that, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a big fat thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell to stay notified of when I make a new video. And I will see you all later. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye bye.